Okay. Hola, all. Welcome back to Soul Mechanics. Step into my office, please. I've had a rough, I think it's almost Thursday now. Had a rough weekend and a week. Been fucking tough, man. Shitty times lately, and I got like super depressed about it. So I'm gonna change it up a little bit here by doing a fun little video for this, a response to this channel called Film Herald. Um, for two specific reasons. One we'll get to at the end of the clip, and the second one is because the dude who made the video, this specific video, he asked for feedback, a specific feedback, and I'm gonna give it to him because I'm not an asshole. And when somebody asks me to help them out by simply responding to their fucking videos, I'm gonna go ahead and do it for them. I'm gonna do it in a big way, nice and flashy, like for this one specifically, for the second reason, or the first reason rather, that we'll get to later on, moving backwards. Anyways, this video is entitled Four Ways to Beat the Creatures from a Quiet Place, which is a movie, I guess, about, I haven't seen it. I'm thinking about watching it after this, but yeah, I'll probably watch it after this. It's a movie about odd alien creatures. Spoiler alert. I guess they're aliens. I don't know. That there are theories as to whether or not they are actually aliens, but yeah, they're aliens. They are in fact aliens. Anyway, they're some kind of like weird sort of shifting faceless creatures that I guess that the dude explains throughout the video. In the beginning of the video, he explains three things that need to be taken into account. One, previously in the video, this dude mentions one, the creatures hunt sound. They cannot see. Apparently, they evolved on a world wherein they did not require eyes of any sort. They seem to use some kind of a crude echolocation. Um, and by crude, I mean, you know, constant clicking. Not like a not like a bat or a dolphin, but more like a, I suppose, like you'd expect a parasite to behave. Um, and they yeah, they basically they can't see. They hunt sound. Basically, they hunt anything that makes noise. That they'll attack, machinery. It doesn't seem as though they eat their prey, so they're not really hunting for food. Scent apparently doesn't come into play here. It's just sound. They attack anything they hear for no good reason at all. So, I mean, evolutionarily speaking, that doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Uh, Specific creator, but we'll get to you in a minute. Anyways, number two, these creatures cover specific territories, apparently. They do not move around a lot. They hit a territory, they stick to it, period. They gang up, they stick to it. They cover each other's backs. Three, that it is confirmed that there are, in fact, only three creatures in play throughout the course of this film. In the area that we're speaking of and with the specific family that we're speaking of, uh, there are there are only three creatures in this territory, and as we just said, they don't move around from territory, so you don't have to worry about other ones coming into play. And should you manage to get rid of these three, you should be fine, right? Well, the dude discusses four ways to beat the creatures, uh, and I'll begin with his first one by playing his first one for you.
One way to make yourself at least safe at home would be to soundproof your house.
To which I have to say, no fucking shit, right? I mean, first measure of defense, right? First line. If these creatures only hunt sound and they can't detect you in any other way, I mean, soundproofing, you might not really want to wait around until all other considerations have been exhausted before attempting to soundproof the area where your only fucking vulnerability is being heard. Uh, that might be a sound measure to take in that scenario. Soundproof your area. Two, he suggests using a drone because it makes a lot of noise. These drones nowadays, I've only seen one, and I don't know, what kind of noise they make. The one I saw was far off, and I thought it was a UFO. Honestly, um, could have been a UFO. Fuck, I mean, shit, it was a UFO to me. Anyways, Signal masking. The dude uses a Metal Gear reference as he explains signal masking, which is effectively, just creating a bunch of noise pollution, which is one of the, actually, I'm going to give a third reason. The reasons that I'm making this clip is because I had it with noise pollution. It's giving me a fucking migraine, and I've got shit I need to be doing in the world that requires hearing. So, just a heads up to anyone I happen to come across in the near future. I'm not in a good mood. You might be able to tell. Uh, but basically creating a bunch of noise pollution, and it'll alert the creatures to it is what at what point the dude uses a Metal Gear reference. So if you watch this Film Herald guy, that's excellent. Thank you for that. That cheered me up for a minute. That Metal Gear inference. Uh, and his fourth one, which is actually a good one. In fact, I'm gonna have to say that the first three are measures of avoiding the creatures or avoiding detection by the creatures. Rather, it's not a measure to beat the creatures at all. This fourth one is actually a good idea to defeat the creatures, and that would be blasting Mariah Carey. Because one thing that we did not discuss is that it appears these creatures' only weakness is high pitch frequencies. And I mean, you've heard Mariah Carey, right? She's great. Don't get me wrong. I love Mariah Carey. I love Mariah, but maybe I'll play Butterfly anyway. So no shit, right? Mariah Carey. That's the obvious solution. But even then, it's not really like it's not a weakness to the creatures. I guess it causes for them to shift into an unprotected mode, wherein you can just kind of shoot or stab them if you choose to. They have an armor plating on them that shifts and moves about. As I said, they're like shifting faceless creatures that have like this crazy armor plating that moves around wherever they go, and high pitched frequencies cause for them to draw the armor plating and expose themselves. At what point you can just shoot them. And I mean, Chick shoots one of them apparently in this dude's clip with a shotgun, which I don't have to tell any gun enthusiasts is going to be probably the least effective available firearm to take down, larger creatures uh, that you can get a hold of. So these things are pretty vulnerable when this high pitch frequency hits them. And this is something that, given the nature of the creatures attacking things that they hear and being drawn to sound and just essentially sound related creatures, ultimately, given that factor, knowing that they were vulnerable to high pitched frequencies would likely have been one of the first fucking things that we'd have likely found out. I mean, that would have been like, I'd have thought of it very quickly. I'd have thought of it almost immediately. I'm certain. I mean, as soon as the holy shit factor wore off, um, I would have thought of that. So I'm going to go ahead and posit one solution to beat these creatures, and that is simply the creatures go after sound. We've established that the creatures they cover a certain territory. There's only 3 of them in the area. We know that. At the very least, we know that there's likely only 3, maybe 4 at best. But yes, it turns out there's only 3, I guess. So my solution is to use sound, be it a drone or what have you, to draw the fucking creatures somewhere and kill them. Now I'm trying to get I'm not trying to be an asshole here about this Film Herald guy. If you're watching, and anybody else, because I come across as an asshole when I'm in a bad mood, and I come across as an asshole most of the time anyway. But uh, I'm not trying to be an asshole here. This gets to me because it's just the implications in play. Look, soundproofing. Fuck that. Forget that. That's a stupid idea. Forget I said it was a good idea. I mean, obviously, it's something you would have thought about immediately. Like, we wouldn't still be, however many months later, coming up with the idea to continue soundproofing our residence if we were hiding from these fucking creatures. But why are you hiding? That's the point. That's my beat. That's the point. All of these movies, all of these horror flicks and shit, they're burning these implications into your head. They're giving you these ideas. They're putting you in this victim mentality. Run and hide. Fucking avoid the creatures. No, kill the fucking creatures. The creatures are a threat to you. Destroy them. Eliminate the threatening factor. Eliminate the danger. That's what you would want to do. When you have the killer on the ground outside of the window, you don't look away and then look back to find that they're gone. You fucking shoot them again. And you go jump out of the fucking window. It's only 2 stories. Of course they survived. Jump out of the window, land it like a boss. It's not hard. I'm telling you, it's not difficult. Jump out the fucking window, get your ass down there, and make sure that fucking guy is dead. For fuck's sake, man. You got a dude coming after you with a fucking Jason mask and shit. Sorry. It's just the whole horror genre. Anyways, um, A, forget soundproofing. B, use the drone. We're presuming that we have a drone on us for some reason, because I mean, the dude's saying that we should use a drone. Like, where the fuck are these people going to have gotten a drone from? Are they going to order one on the internet while the world's being assaulted by aliens? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's hard enough getting my fucking packages in the mail now, man. And we don't got shit. We only got imaginary threats to worry about now, right? But, anyways, one, presuming we somehow have a drone on us, he stated initially early on in the video that these people live right near a waterfall, which allows for them to have a consistent flow of clean water. Now, these creatures, they're insectoid. They have very long limbs they have mandibles. They have limbs that are designed for cutting, for climbing, and basically for scurrying about. These creatures cannot swim. That's a fact. These creatures do not survive in water. So, or at the very least, they ain't coming back out of it. So lure them into the water because they can't fucking see where they're going. It's pretty simple. Or off a cliff or something. I mean, granted, they should be able to climb pretty well, but I mean, as fast as they move, they're going off that fucker. They're done. It's over. You got a fucking drone. Lead them off a cliff, man. Or into the water. It's simple. Now, B, if you do have a drone, we're gonna clump 1 and 2 together because I'm gonna give 4 ways to kill these fucking things immediately, right off the get. Uh, if you do have a drone, these people they live on a farm. This family. Now, if you live on a farm, you have everything you need to make a fuck ton of top-notch explosive devices immediately at hand. And likely, if you're living out there on a farm on your own, you probably looked into this. You know how to do it. Explosive drone. They're going to follow the noise. It explodes. I mean, granted, the creatures might be defensive. I guess they survived on a meteorite across space, so in the vacuum of space, that's pretty hard. Uh, Explosives might not quite cut it, but I mean, you could always like lure them into a trap involving the explosives. I mean, just the factor that you do in fact have what you require to build explosive devices at hand, easily, readily available. So if you have a drone, I mean, I don't see why the fuck you would have a drone. Where did that even come from? Anyways, third, shotgun. Obviously, they killed it with the shotgun. Now, there's no reason why we should not be aware that these things are vulnerable to high pitched frequencies. Testing sounds on them would have been the very first thing to do. That would have been the first call to anybody that's paying attention. Again, there'd be a slight holy shit factor, even for myself, and I'm not scared of many things. But after that wore down and that impulse kicked in, I started getting thinking it would have been, hey, maybe we should test what kind of sounds affects these things in what sort of ways. And we would have gotten around to, the factor that any fucking cellular telephone could weaken their armor, and then we shoot them or stab them or we round them up and we beat them to death. There's only 3 of them, dude. 4, Mariah Carey, or something, similar. Anyways, there are 4 ways that you could actually eliminate the threat, and I'm gonna get back to the victim mentality thing. People do not play defense, and do not do fucking. If you ever get in a scenario like this, and I've been in scenarios like this. I've been hunted before. I've been chased about. I've been attacked. Granted, not by alien creatures with mandibles, but I've been put in some pretty fucking dangerous situations. I'm going to tell you firsthand, as a survivor, I am a survivor because I did not run and hide. Don't run and hide. I mean, if you're like being chased by a bear and there's a chance you can actually get away from it, maybe. But I mean, these are insectoid looking fucking alien creatures that have immediately available defensive problems, problematic defensive capabilities that should have been exposed right off in the first day. Somebody would have found that shit, and it would have hit everybody's fucking computer or telephone. There would have been red alert all over the whole fucking planet. Hit these things with fucking not EMFs, but high range frequencies. Anyways, that's my point. Is do not play defense. That's not my reason though. That is kind of a reason. I mean, these films they're programming you people into being defensive, into playing victim, into being afraid of anything. Don't let people kill you. It's pretty simple. Don't let somebody kill you. Most especially, don't fucking let aliens kill you. That's like not even honorable. Do not let things murder you. That's a simple standard measure. If something's trying to murder you, you need to get rid of it. Eliminate that. It's pretty simple, and there's so many different ways you can do it. Just about anything that you see in your immediate vicinity right now as you watch this, including the phone that you likely holding, or even the fucking keypad upon the PC if you're at a desktop, can be used as a viable weapon to eliminate something, a threat to your being, to your person. Anyways, uh, I mean, everybody's got keys in their pocket. Kill the fucking things. Basically, stop. Don't. There, shit's gonna get hard in the future. Don't be fucking pussies, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But the actual reason, ultimately, bottom line, is because I fucking love John Krasinski, and he made this. John Krasinski, should you ever see this video, which I highly doubt, but if you do, awesome. I'm gonna watch it just for you, bub, because you're fucking kick ass. I like you, man. I always have. And kudos on the Jack Ryan role, by the way. That's fucking banging. I can't wait to see that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Uh, Something to switch it up. Kila Salai, Terve Uni Siari, Namaste.